Awesome, awesome. Happy Friday, everybody. Big waves to you. Good to see you. If you're new to the call, we always say if we'll wave at each other to put a big smile on our face. So just feel good about waving out there. And if we've got some new people joining us this morning, I just want to say, kind of lay out what we do. We take a word of the day, 15 minutes, and we just kind of expand on it. And super short, but super powerful. We started this right before COVID or right at COVID and thought it would be a couple of weeks. And over 2.5 years later, going on 3, we're still here, or however long it's been. So it's been awesome, awesome, awesome. We got a lot of people tuning in all over the country, world, on lives and recordings, and it's just a loving community that I am so grateful for. So what we're doing for the rest of December is we're focusing on words that have to do with going into the new year. You know, we say this a lot. We were put on this earth to thrive, not to survive. We were put on here to grow. Each of us has got a dash, and what are we going to do with it? You know? And so the word we're focusing on today is confidence. Confidence. And again, a lot of you have been submitting these words, and confidence is, this word was submitted by one of you. And I love it. I love it because I've had moments in my life where I've had confidence on my side. I've had moments in my life where I didn't have confidence on my side. I've had moments in my life where I was confident in a human, and I've had moments in my life where I hadn't been confident in a human. Right? And it all weighs on you. And so if you look at the definition of confidence, it's the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone, a firm trust. So that's one form of confidence. And I've had both of them. I've had people that I felt like I could, man, they had my back. And then I felt like I had people that if I turned and walked away, well, I needed to guard my back. And then the other definition is a feeling of assurance, self-assurance, arising from our own perspective of things. It's a self-assurance in our own abilities, self-assurance in our own qualities. And so all of those make me feel like when I have those on my side, I'm like 10 foot tall, my shoulders are back. I think I got things where I need it to go do what I need to do. I come across this quote that says, with confidence, you have won before you have started. You walk in the room different. You carry yourself different. Without confidence, it's a completely different ballgame. How many of you've been there? You've had confidence, you hadn't had confidence. You know, I remember, I've said this a lot on here, but I remember, you know, when I was a kid getting pulled out of class for speech and, you know, reading and writing and all this stuff. And it really stuck with me all the way through. And I remember when I started getting on stage and speaking, just, you know, I get nervous even today when I get on stage and speak, but man, the first time it was like, I'm not meant to be here. I don't belong here. Like, why did God put me on this stage, you know? But then over time, I started gaining confidence, self-development, you know? But without it, I'd have probably exited and never went back. And where I went this morning is, Andrew's going to talk about how to build more confidence, but what are some traits if you got it? You know, we showed a picture of a guy full armor the other day, and I look at confidence as one of those pieces of armor that we put on. And here's what happens when we got it. And here's what people look like. So think about yourself. People that's got self-confidence don't seek approval from others. So I call it social acceptance. They're not walking around going, what's this person think of me? What are they saying about me? You know, people of confidence, their verbal cues match their nonverbal cues. I call it, they just add up. Have you ever been around somebody that just didn't add up? Like, I don't know. They just, what they say and the tongue in their mouth and the tongue in their shoes don't add up. They don't walk the walk. They're talking the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They don't worry about things outside of their control. Whew, that's a tough one. I like to control things. But a self-confident person says, I know what's in my control. I know what's out of my control. They're decisive. They're assertive. But they also recognize when they make a mistake. Now, I'm sure you're perfect, but I'm not. I make a lot of mistakes. I hope that I can recognize, and I've had times when I don't want to recognize when I make a mistake, but I hope I'm a person that walks in a place where I can recognize it and say, you know what? I messed up. It's my fault. And I hope I'm never a person that thinks I'm perfect and I never make a mistake. I hope I don't judge through those eyes. A confident person perseveres. They have a no-quit attitude. And they appear confident. When the going gets tough, when there's a war going on, you want to stand beside that confident person, a person of self-confidence. So there's where I went, but how do we build it, Andrea? Is going to take over that this morning.
Well, great message, Coach. Thank you for that. And the quote that I found was, self-confidence is a superpower. Once you start believing in yourself, magic starts happening. And I think we all can relate to those moments where, and maybe some of y'all have them all the time, but some of us, they're just moments, but those moments where you do feel really confident. You're like, wow, I'm prepared. I know what I'm doing. I've got this down. And there's such powerful moments. And I feel like we achieve so much more in those moments. So how do we bring that confidence everywhere with us? Like, how do we create that within ourselves so it's not just little slivers of moments, it's all the time? Well, one, maybe do your hair a little bit better before a Zoom. I see myself on the camera. It's a little traumatizing, but anyway, I'm not going to look anymore. But anyway, do something hard. So competence, and I just heard this yesterday, the day before, it said competence leads to confidence, and it's not the other way around. And sometimes we can think, oh, I'll try that. I'll go live on Facebook. Coach does these lives. He always looks so great. And I think, oh, I'll do that just as soon as and like fill in the blank. It could be anything, right? I give myself these other items that I'll do first so that maybe magically I'll get the ability and the confidence to do. But instead, just do the hard thing. Go live on Facebook or do the run, or I don't know, pick the thing that's hard for you, but just do it, because by doing, that's going to allow you to gain the confidence in yourself so that you can do something harder next time. Next, get outside your comfort zone. So the more we get out of our comfort zone, the more opportunities we're going to have to develop confidence in ourselves. So, I can be a person, I like to just kind of hang out at the house, maybe not be around a lot of other people except for you guys. There's a million ways that I can keep myself in a comfort zone, but the more we do, I feel like the more my world shrinks. So the more you're in that comfort zone, the world shrinks, and then your confidence shrinks too. So get outside of that comfort zone. Next, make a list of positive qualities. And this, I've got to admit, I haven't done this, but this was recommended, one of the ways that we can gain confidence. But imagine sitting down and, Valerie, you pick up the pen and you write down all the things you love about you. And it could be physical things. It could be, mental things. It could be abilities. I don't care, but just make a list of all of the qualities that you appreciate in yourself, and watch that maybe you stand a little bit taller when you walk away from that piece of paper, because you realize, I'm not such a horrible human after all, right? I'm a pretty decent human being. I've got some skills. I've got some good attributes. Let's go rock the day. Next is practice self-assured body language. So kind of talked about it a couple of times, those shoulders back. Sometimes we just have to fake it till we make it. And that can really work well with ourselves. if we do it with our body. So think of that power pose. You're feeling really confident, you're sitting tall, maybe you've got really great shoes on. I don't know for you, but that moment where you feel really confident, well, if you're not in that moment right this second, put your body in that position, smile. So fake it and you'll see that you're going to feel it a little bit more. Next is set some goals. I think a huge one for this for many of us right now is the Catalyst Club. Is that not making you feel a little bit more confident that you've got this goal? And I don't care if it's 1, 2, or 3, but just having that goal in front of you and knowing inside yourself that you're doing the action to chip away and get that goal, it makes you feel more proud and more confident. And then lastly, calm that inner critic. And sometimes, hate to say it, sometimes that inner critic is telling us the truth, right? You're always late. Well, yeah, I can tend to run behind, right? So what do I need to learn from that inner critic so that I can improve, so that I can do better? So learn the lesson, then change the message, and then move on. So thank you so much for this one today. And I think that this was Brandon's. So thank you, Brandon, if I was right. Thanks for the great word.
Yeah, Brandon out in Lubbock, Texas. Great message, Andrea. As we love you, we appreciate you as always. We're just blessed that you're a part of the Coach's Corner and in this family. So have a great weekend out there. We'll see you back Monday. Sorry. Monday.
It's
See ya.
Friday. Forgot it was
Thank
Friday.
you. Here's
Thank you,
Linda.
Coach.
Linda, feel
You
better.
guys, grateful
Later.
for you.
Coach. Thank
Bye,
you,
Andrea.
Andrea.
Thanks, guys.
That was a good message.